even though we are not going to get it in the US because the car has, or the vehicle has been nixed, the first all-new Toyota Land Cruiser is approaching, and it will be the first one in 14 years because the current Land Cruiser has been around for that long. And we're not getting it because, this year, I think is the last year the Land Cruiser will be sold in North America.
Correct.
And the reason that the Land Cruiser is going to be gone, even though it's such a historic mark for even in the US, they have the Lexus LX to compete in the full-size luxury SUV segment, the LX 470, I think it is, and the Land Cruiser was getting kind of expensive at $86,000 to $90,000.
Most expensive car in the lineup.
Yeah. So, and
but
if you're gonna go after,
as we know from my review, very comfortable, very capable,
very comfortable,
and I very much liked it.
Yes, and James.
And it was a good looker.
Is a good what?
Good looker.
Good looker. Oh yeah. Okay. It probably doesn't. It probably looks a lot better than what the new Land Cruiser might look like, but
So this is a Otaku Ninja scoop again?
Yes, of course. Our Otaku Ninjas are busy because, with, Japan's COVID cases they're trending the wrong way. They're getting worse. So they're, people are kind of staying indoors and they're just kind of, snooping around.
Although I was going to say, Tara, I think they could find some production vehicles that are out running about now in Japan in regards to this car.
Oh yeah, this car?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it out now?
It's not out, but there's definitely
test mules?
No, like one's ready to go into dealerships.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's very close. And we don't know because we're not getting this car, but the Land Cruiser will continue to be sold in other markets, including Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the scoop on this SUV, and what we're going to be missing out on. As you see by the images, it still has the boxy Land Cruiser shape, even though James is very, very, very thumbs down on the front end. And
it was Taro that was thumbs down on the front end. I'm just thumbs down on all of it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's even worse. But anyways, yeah, I'm not a big fan of this front end too. But sometimes, being ugly is the good way to go. To show a statement. But
shock factor.
Yeah, the shock factor. So the kind of like the Marilyn Manson thing. Whoa, what the hell? So, but you'll remember it. So. The new version, there's a new version in here in the mix, and it's called the GRS, which stands for Gazoo Racing Sport. So it's going to give this Toyota SUV a sporty flavor.
It's the wrong direction to go with the Land Cruiser, though.
But a little bit about the new Land Cruiser itself. It's going to be about 500 pounds lighter than the current model because it's going to be using the new TGNAGA platform, the new lightweight platform. Mm-hmm. And it will be powered by a twin turbocharged V6 that'll come mated to a 10-speed automatic gearbox. So no more V8. Okay. And that seems to be the trend for a lot of engines or a lot of car manufacturers these days. And they are bringing back the diesel for this car. The Land Cruiser hasn't had a diesel engine for a while now. I find it kind of weird that they're bringing back the diesel, but some people love diesels, right? Because the torque and all that. It's never caught on in North America, but they're bringing it back for this car, this SUV, and probably for some of the third world markets and Europe. And the GRS will feature both front and rear locking differentials, and will feature their KDSS suspension system, which is the kinetic dynamic suspension system, the first electric version of that. I think that KDSS suspension is on their Forerunner now. So anyways, the Land Cruiser, even though it's not going to be sold in the US, it is not dead. Who knows, we may be seeing it in the future at some point if the Lexus LX doesn't fare well, or maybe a little cheaper version. But yeah, at $90K right now, it's going to be hard for the Land Cruiser to really compete in this market. But there are places for it to be sold, to flourish in other parts of the world. So Your guys' thoughts on the Land Cruiser. I know you like the driving and the comfort of this, the current model, James, because you actually drove it. But what do you think about the Land Cruiser not being available here and this new one?
I mean, I think it's a disappointment that they're not going to see the new Land Cruiser here. But I mean, I like I've already spoken to you about this. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the styling of this one in particular.
You got to remember, this is an image created by this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've also seen the spy shots. That's a very, very close image to what I'm going to imagine what it's going to look like. I just think it looks. This one obviously has been dropped a lot from what the standard version would be, but I mean, it just seems like it's not as stylish. I mean, the Land Cruiser for the past, as you said, the past 14 years had very little changes, and this is quite a stark change. It looks, I mean, it doesn't quite as excite me as much as the old one.
It looks very boxy, almost like a very big version of the like Nissan Cube.
It does look exactly like a supersized version of the Nissan Cube
or something like that.
The Flex.
Yeah.
What's that?
The Ford Flex.
Oh, yeah. So
it's low too. It's lowered too. So
yeah, this one is lowered. Well, it's the GR version, so it's kind of a sporty version. But
I mean, if they were going for the sporty version, I think they should have really erred along the likes of when they did the Toyota Land Speed record with the Land Cruiser and gone in that direction, as opposed to this direction. I think I just had the idea of it. I mean, your Land Cruiser, you want to be going off-road, you want to be doing this, that, and the other. With a lowered car, you're not going off-road anywhere. I mean, it might be good for the school drop-offs, but I'd rather have a European car to be doing school drop-offs if I want to show off my luxury car.
Right, you could get stuck in sand pretty quick on this thing. If it's this low, you're gonna.
Yeah, I mean, the Land Cruiser is, the name is Land Cruiser. It's got to be. It's a
take on any mountain road.
Right. It's an SUV.
Any trail. Yeah.
Trying to make it a sports car or a sporty version it just kind of goes against the whole concept of the car itself.
So Taro, you have a 4Runner, a white 4Runner. You can't see this thing in your driveway too?
Well, if it's like if it's lifted up a little bit,
okay, let's say the regular one, but the way this looks. Is the looks enough to turn you off for this Land Cruiser?
It's not enough to turn me off.
I think it's enough to turn James off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if it's not going to be any cheaper than it's what it is now, right? It's going to still be in the 80s.
Well, it might be a little cheaper just because it's got a smaller engine, but I don't know.
It's not. It's not going to be. It may be $1,000 cheaper. But I think it's going to come in about the same price. I don't think it's going to drop down. Yeah. So I think there's a lot more, like I said, European-based cars if you wanted to go for looks without and didn't need to use all that off-roading. If you weren't going to do that, I think there's the European options. And if you wanted the four-wheel drive and the off-roading, maybe you just look for not the Land Cruiser anymore and went for a different model in the Toyota range.
So James is kind of he's I think he's done with the Land Cruiser. You too, Taro?
No, I'm not. I'm not done with it. I mean, we're just not.
We are done with it, but because
we're going to get this car. But I mean, I would look at it. I mean,
would you want to pay twice the price than what you're paying for your current vehicle, Tara, for this?
I'm perfectly happy with my Toyota.
There you go. Thank you, James. Got to the point.
I took it off road 2 weeks ago up into the mountains, and I had a blast. And I don't need anything else, more expensive than, what I'm paying for right now. Just to go up into the hills and, kind of like go in the rocks and sand. And I don't need a $90,000 car to do that.
This car is going to be, they say it's going to have a little more cargo room than the current car. So it's going to be a little bigger. So, which is kind of surprising, usually everything's downsizing, but this one's kind of going bigger. So,
I mean, it's interesting because the current ones have still offers you 3 rows of seating. So I don't know how much.
This will have 3.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, how much bigger can you already go if you've already got a third row of seating? You're going to try and squeeze a fourth. Is it going to become a bus? Is that what it is?
No, more cargo space, not more seats. Yeah.
I know. I'm just.
Oh, okay. I never know when you're kidding, James.
I've never told a joke once, Sam. Never told a joke.
You're damn dry British wit sometimes.
Never jokes.
Never joke, Sam. You should know this.
Never jokes.
So anyways, that's from our Otaku Ninjas.